Accessing library computer data.
Hello and welcome to my review/overview of the Prototype 02, which is a Romulan drone ship that came out as part of the Wave 1 card packs in September of 2017. As with the other card packs, you'll need to get a model and a maneuver dial, and that can be found with the Prototype 01 from the Wave 11 expansions. Unlike the Dreadnought card pack, this does not necessarily fix the ship, but gives you a few more options, as many of the cards are limited to the Romulan drone ship class. So let's see what comes in the pack. As with the other card packs, you don't get much, but in the pack you'll get a Prototype 02/Romulan Starship ship template, 2 Jamal ID tokens, 2 Romulan Drone Pilot ID tokens, and that's about it, so let's get to the cards. The first card in the pack is the named ship Prototype 02, which is a Romulan drone ship with 3 attack, 3 agility, 3 hull, and 3 shields, and a primary and secondary 90-degree firing arc. 3 tech slots and a weapon slot with evade, target lock, and scan in the action bar for 19 points, which is a really nice 5 points cheaper than the original Prototype 01. Planning phase. Place an auxiliary power token beside the ship. Remove 1 time token from each tech upgrade equipped to the ship. This ship may only be assigned Garib or Romulan Drone Pilot as its captain. There are a lot of tech upgrades in this pack that use time tokens, so this can be a really good ability to be able to use them all one turn sooner if you kind of go through them all. I don't like this as much as the ability of the Prototype 01, where it can repair damage to your hull shields at the end of every turn. Although the 5 points cheaper, it makes a much better cloaked mine carrier than the Prototype 01, as it basically covers the cost of 2 mines. So while I like the point cost reduction, I still think I like the Prototype 01 more. The generic Romulan drone ship loses a shield and a tech slot for 16 points, which is 6 points cheaper than the previous generic. You still have the restriction where you're limited to only assigning Garib or Romulan Drone Pilot. As with the name versions, these make decent minefield carriers, but I think that if you're going to run 2 drone ships, you're much better off running the 2 name versions despite the point cost reduction, as their abilities more than make up for it. The Romulan drone ship is very maneuverable but not very fast. The ship only has a 3 white straight, but it has turns at 2 and 3 that are white and has both 2 and 3 white comeabouts. So a very maneuverable ship, but you will certainly not be winning any speed races with it. The first captain in the pack is Jamal, who costs 3 points, is dual faction independent and Romulan with no elite talent slot, and can only be equipped to a Romulan drone ship. This card cannot be affected by anything that affects a captain, and this card counts as a Romulan drone pilot. Action. Target an opposing ship in this ship's primary firing arc in range 1 to 2. The target ship rolls -2 attack dice against this ship. I do not love the ability, as it takes an action and then all your opponent has to do is not target your ship if they have another choice. I think it works better if she's attached to the only ship left in your fleet, but Garib is a lot better captain for the drone ships. And it makes sense that she cannot be targeted by anything that affects captain cards, as she's technically not on the ship. Still don't think she's a great captain. The second captain is a generic Romulan drone pilot with a captain skill of 1 and has the same effect where they cannot be targeted by anything that affects captain cards. I would run Jamal and Garib over generic captain, but if you need the extra points, definitely use the generic over Jamal, as I do not think her ability will be used all that often. Otherwise, this is a generic captain that can't be affected, as again, they're not on the ship. The first tech upgrade is Repair Protocol, which costs 4 points, unique to 1 per ship and is restricted to the Romulan drone ship. End phase. Place 3 time tokens on this card. Repair 1 damage to the ship's shields or hull. So this card mimics the ability from the Prototype 01. I think that this card should be 3 points or be 2 time tokens for the 4 points, so that it's a Romulan version of Exocomp, but a little better, as it would be able to repair the shields or the hull and not just the hull. I still like the tech upgrade, and definitely something that is very useful in either of the prototypes. The second tech upgrade is Disguise Protocol, which is unique to 1 per ship, costs 4 points, and must be equipped to a Romulan drone ship. When defending, place 3 time tokens on this card. The attacking ship rolls -2 attack dice. I much prefer this card to the ability of Jamal, as it is non-action and takes place after the attacking ship declares you as a target. You could use both of the abilities, but that would violate the rule of 3, so you'd only be able to reduce the attacking dice by 3. Another good upgrade to use on either of the prototypes, but with being able to take a time token off early, makes it a little better on the Prototype 02. The third tech upgrade is Propulsion Matrix, which costs 3 points. Activation phase. If this ship reveals a 3 straight maneuver, the ship may perform a 4 straight or a 5 straight maneuver instead. If it does, place an auxiliary power token beside the ship. I don't know if this is something that you're really going to want to take all the time with a prototype, as I really don't think that the ship always needs to be able to do that 4 or 5 straight, since it's so maneuverable otherwise, especially since you take an auxiliary token to do it. But if you're going to use the prototype as a mine carrier, it can be useful to get in position to lay mines where you want them. Also possibly useful in some of the smaller Romulan ships, such as the Scout and Science Vessel, where they lack that 5 straight. The last tech upgrade is Evasive Protocol, which is unique to one per ship, must be equipped to the Romulan Drone Ship and costs 3 points. Combat phase. If this ship is in the primary or secondary fire rank of an opposing ship, place 3 time tokens on this card. Perform a sensor echo action as a free action. If this ship does, also remove an opposing target lock token from the ship. This is a really good tech upgrade for the drone ship to give it even more maneuverability, and to also remove a target lock so an opponent cannot use a secondary weapon on it or be able to use it for quality for their primary weapon. So I really like this tech upgrade on the prototype. The first weapon is Tellerite Disruptor Banks, which is unique to one per ship, has an attack value of 4, is an independent weapon, and costs 3 points. Attack. Place 3 time tokens on this card. If there is at least one uncancelled hit, modify the defender's agility by -1 until the end of the game round. This weapon really only works well on a ship with a high captain skill, so you can take advantage of reducing your opponent's agility by 1, so when you have a second ship attack, they get less defense dice. I think it can be helpful when firing against a cloak ship, because they're rolling 5, 6, possibly 7 dice depending on the range. So even being able to reduce by 1 can be helpful. I think this weapon upgrade is decent, but not something you're going to want all the time, and not necessarily on the prototype either. The second weapon upgrade and the last card in the pack is Triphasic Emitters, which costs 2 points and has a question mark attack value. Setup. Choose a non-board weapon upgrade with a cost of 5 SP or less and place it face down beneath this card. Attack. Discard this card. Flip the card that is beneath this card face up and perform the attack listed on the card if possible. After the attack resolves, discard that card. So this card does not let you place a weapon upgrade that is restricted to a class of ship, like Disruptor Bombardment or Throw on Shock Emitter onto the drone ship. But I think this card has some definite uses in order to be able to get a more expensive weapon upgrade on your ship without having to pay that price of it. But then you only get to use it once, and then you get to surprise your opponent with a weapon that you may not be anticipating. I think this upgrade is only useful if you don't have the points to fit a more expensive weapon on your Romulan ship. Thank you for watching my review/overview of the Prototype 02 card pack. I like this pack, but since a lot of the cards are restricted to the Romulan drone ship class, if you do not fly Romulans or use the drone ship a lot, I don't think you'll get a ton of use in many of the cards in this pack. So it may be one that you could skip if you can't find it. And certainly, I don't think there's anything that's life-changing in here anyway. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like it and subscribe to the Aenar channel. You can also find me on Facebook at the Aenar channel. And if you're able to support the channel and making content, then you can find me on Patreon. Thank you again, and I shall see you next time.